Alright, so we're back for the part 2. So I guess we can just kind of pick up where we left off. Where did we leave off?
Good question.
That was a good question. We'll take it from the top. So you just recently got 25 million views.
Yeah.
Less than a year. Talk about that.
So I joined this website called Unsplash. It's basically like where all the world's best photographers who kind of are to that point where they don't want to get paid for their pictures, so they throw it on this website for free. And basically it's like a contest who can make the trending page, and if you don't make the trending page.
Oh, okay.
And so if you post a photo and it doesn't trend, no one's going to see it. But if you post a photo and it does trend, you get like between, I think my lowest viewed photo was like 90,000, and then one of my highest viewed photos was 2 million.
Oh, okay.
Depending on like what day it trends, stuff like that.
Depending on the day, huh?
So I think I posted like 20 some photos, like I think one or two a month, and yeah, we're almost to a year, and it hit 25 million.
That's pretty crazy.
2 days ago, I think. Yeah.
And it's still growing.
Yeah. Numbers go up every day, but the thing is, you can't tell like how many followers you have and stuff like that. Like I wish it would show you.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing it would probably be up there pretty high.
Wow. So, did you celebrate in any kind of way, or just like, oh, that was cool?
I think we're gonna celebrate tonight.
We'll celebrate tonight? Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be?
You guys coming?
I probably won't be here. I probably won't be there. You know, I mean, I stay in my cave. But
yeah.
Where are you guys going to be?
I'm not sure yet. We're thinking about going to that bar Louie.
Okay.
You guys been there yet?
I have not been there.
Yeah, it looks kind of good.
Interesting. Well, maybe I'll stop down. Maybe I'll come out of the house. See what you guys are up to.
That'd be dope.
That'd be dope. 25 million views in less than a year. That's definitely a good reason to celebrate. I guess. Would you have any tips for anybody that's coming up in your field, to kind of like the do's and the don'ts of kind of how you're definitely not there yet, but you're going there in a good way. So
right.
So
some good advice would be to use Instagram as much as you can by building connections, because that's a huge way you can send a message to a famous guy and he can actually see it. Like, how crazy if you think about that.
How does Instagram better than like Facebook or Twitter?
I think Facebook's more, like the older generation.
Okay.
And like when artists have pages, they're more like fan pages. They're not like their actual accounts that they're gonna get on.
Okay.
But Instagram, yeah, they're on that all the time. And like Twitter, they're on Twitter too. Like I've gotten a hold of Dizzy through Twitter.
Oh, Disney,
right?
Okay.
And
Dizzy. Because
I remember he was posting like, "Who wants to shoot my show tonight? Hit me up." And that's when I first said no. So I was like putting his post notifications on, and I was like, me. And of course he doesn't respond to his Twitter DMs, but
right.
But Instagram, people get bored. They just go through those Instagram DMs.
Man, that's what's up. That's crazy. 25 million. So then you're going to Paris and you're going to be flying all over. You said you're going to what other countries they're going to fly you to?
So you start off in Quebec, Canada. Then you go to Paris, and then you fly to New York City.
Okay. Have you ever been in New York?
I have not.
Man, I've always wanted to go out there.
Right? I feel like it'd be the best place for photos.
Yeah. It's got that.
And to travel.
Yeah, just to travel. Yeah, I've been out west. The East Coast has been, I haven't been over there, so it'd be nice to get out there.
Yeah.
So, you got you're sponsored by GoPro and Durex, and who else did you get some sponsored things by?
Bang Energy. Who else? Someone help me out. There's a lot of them. Taylor Vintage, iHome.
You said Durex sent you like how many condoms?
Ton of condoms. It was for the AIDS awareness, where they make all the red products. So I thought it was a good cause.
Oh, nice. I guess that's something you could talk about. Like, talk about some of your work that you're kind of the most proud of. Some things that come to mind. Like, where were they, and like, what inspired the shot, or...
So my most favorite photo was the one Apple purchased from me. It's currently in the Taiwan App Store. So if they're on the App Store in Taiwan, they'll see my photo.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty dope.
That is pretty dope.
And I remember they're like, we'll pay you a certain amount. And I was like, I had a crappy phone. So I was like, will you guys just give me a new iPhone instead? They're like, no. So I just took the money. But they own it for a couple years. But then I get it back.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying to think what other photos. I had a picture I took of my friend Lexi in a dope hat. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm good friends with. That's another story right there about connecting. So when I was out in LA 2 years ago trying to like build, a resume, I was out there with a clothing company, Enlightened Mystical Minds. So my homies out of Dubuque, and they took me to a trade show with them. So like they're like, hey, we want you to go around to these booths, introduce yourself, maybe take a picture for them. So I did, and we stopped at the dope booth. And I took a levitating picture, because everybody likes the levitation shots I do.
Oh, yep.
And I posted it to my Instagram, and I tagged dope, and I just tagged dope. And the owner saw it, and he messaged me, and he's like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Do you want to stop by the dope office? So we're like, oh my God. So we just left the trade show, went to his house, Well, first we went to his office, and you're like, wow, we're in Beverly Hills at the dope office.
Yeah.
And then, so we start talking, and he's like, hey, do you guys want to come hang out? And he has a, $25 million house in the hills. So we're like, duh.
Yeah.
So then we go up there, have a good time, and we've always just stayed in contact after that. So when I was out in LA, he was actually in Europe for the Drake tour.
Oh, wow.
And so he said when he got back, we would, get some work in, but I had to leave.
Unfortunately.
But that just shows you, though, like, what a post on social media can do for you. One post, and you're with the guy who just bought dope for, like, $25 million. You know what I mean?
That's some crazy stuff.
Because he saw one of your pictures. But if you don't post that picture, you don't tag that company, no one's ever going to see it. There's no opportunities that come out of it.
So you got to work hard and you got to work smart at the same time.
Smart and hard.
Smart
and you gotta post a lot.
You got to stay with it.
But we're in the age of social media.
Yeah.
You gotta, because it's eventually gonna go down, or Instagram's not always gonna be popping forever.
Yeah.
Kind of like Facebook. Now I kind of think of Facebook as, my mom and dad use it, and my grandpa.
Yeah, my grandma uses it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah.
And they always get mad at me when I post rude things or, cuss words and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Instagram is just, I don't think it's gonna be popping for so long. I feel like it eventually will drop.
Yeah.
But I hope not for a long time. That's why I'm just trying to take advantage of Instagram as much as possible.
Could you talk about some of the potential stresses that social media can have? Like, I know you talked about social media stresses and kind of like just you always have to be on it. It's never off.
It sucks. I just, sometimes you just want to take a break from social media. Like, one of my good friends gave it up for Lent. I'm like, I wish I could give it up for Lent, but I couldn't, or else I wouldn't make a living. Yeah. But it's stressful because, you got to put, this fake persona on, for your Instagram stories, or if you don't post that day, you got to make sure you're posting stories so people, keep you relevant. But if you stop posting, then you fall off their algorithm where you don't show up on their feed as much, you don't get noticed, publicity.
So it's a numbers game.
Oh, for sure.
You kind of got the algorithms kind of...
Yeah, I have a buddy that works for an Instagram company, and they study, the first 10,000 best hashtags used and what percentage of likes you will get from each hashtag.
So they kind of got it figured out a little bit.
Yeah, so, companies will pay them to run their pages for them to help them grow it. Is what the company's called.
See, that's the working smart part.
Oh, it's very smart.
Yeah, so you gotta figure out these numbers and figure out there's a science to it. And then, it comes to hard work with, like you said, a lot of sacrifice, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
Always staying on top of it, But that's what's going to make or break you.
Right, sometimes you want to quit because, maybe you shoot, you don't make any money, and you're still not making money, and your parents are like, hey, you need to make money. And then you're like, oh, I could get a 9-to-5 job, but is that what I really want? Because, I'm 26 now, so it's make or break. Because I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't want a full-time job. So that's why you got to keep the grind. When I went to LA, I was sick. And I went there by myself, no plan. Hit up some, famous people that I knew. And that, they got lives, so you don't see them all the time.
Yeah.
And you just got to chase the dream.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
You got to do what you said, sleeping.
Yeah, I slept in hostels. I slept on people's... I slept in Airbnbs where they would rent out their only their couch.
Okay.
It was rough. And then coming with me with a stomach disease, staying at hostels with 45 people in it, one bathroom.
Yeah, talk more about that. Talk about kind of the stresses of also being on the road and also having a disease like this.
It's extreme anxiety. Xanax is the solution. No, but for medical purposes, people don't abuse it, but it's very stressful because you just think, because you have this illness, you're like, what happens if I'm on the subway, which happened to me one time. Like, I was on the subway, and I asked my buddy, I was like, yo, are there bathrooms? Like, we were in the subway station. We weren't technically on the subway yet. And I was like, is there bathrooms? And he was like, no, man, like, homeless people hide out in the bathroom, so they don't have bathrooms.
Oh, dang.
So then my anxiety, shoots through the roof. Like, what do I do if I have to go to the bathroom? There's not one anywhere nearby. And you just start freaking out. And that's a huge stress, like, doing what I do.
Man, I can't imagine that.
No, it's horrible. It's like when you have the worst stomachache ever, just feel that, like, that's me every day.
So how do you cope? You said Xanax, but then, like...
Yeah, that helps a little bit, but,
you time out your meals, you kind of know...
Oh, like having a plan. Like, I always will wake up, eat at a certain time, and then I'll go through the whole day without eating until I get my job done, go home, finally eat again. It's just like you said, a plan. It helps, like a schedule helps so much. Because it'd technically be irresponsible of me.
Yeah.
If I was like, oh, I'm at a shoot, we're in the desert, I'm just going to eat a hamburger.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm hungry.
So that would be a no-go.
No, so you'd be like, that's stupid. You're setting up yourself for failure. Your anxiety's going to shoot for the roof. Through the roof. But, yeah, it's tough.
So... That's also true for just anybody in general that wants to be successful. You got to plan, you got to make a schedule.
Exactly.
You got to, you can't just kind of like waltz through. I mean, I suppose some people get away with it, but I'm definitely not that fortunate. Definitely, a plan and a schedule and try to stick to it. And you got self-discipline is very important.
Very. Because, like, we work from home. We could be like, oh, I just want to watch Netflix today.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to go sleep. Go get food.
Yeah.
Discipline's very big.
Yeah, it's all too tempting, especially when you work from home.
Yeah, and especially, like, if one thing comes out of this to, like, never stop. Like, there were some low points when I was out in California, and my parents were like, yeah, if you quit photography, they didn't say quit photography, but they're just basically like, we'll fly you home if you come home. But, it's not going to be happy. Like, sometimes you have to give up. Like, you go get that real job. And I'm out there freelancing, trying to connect as much as I can.
Yeah.
And it's hard. But luckily I didn't, because then Futuristic hit me up that next day. So if I would have went home...
Oh, wow.
I would have lost out on the Nate Diaz. Who else we meet? Kid Rock's lead guitarist.
So even when it seems like it's getting hard, just give it, keep pushing.
Keep pushing. Like, there were times I went, like, 3 days with no money. It was rough.
Oh,
and
man.
I didn't even know what I was going to eat.
You just kept pushing, though.
Yeah, but you just got to...
What were you doing every day?
We were shooting for skunk bags, like, on the beach 7 hours a day.
Okay.
It was rough.
So you're shooting all day, working all day. Not knowing how you're going to eat, sleep, any of that
And
stuff.
you don't want to ask your friends for money, that's weird.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't do it, So then, so I just had to put the work in. So I thought of an idea when I was like, I hit up Instagram companies all the time. Why don't I do that again? So I messaged like 10 companies. Next day I had like $400 on my PayPal from them signing deals.
Wow.
And I was like, that's the thing though. Like, I could have just sat there and cried about, I don't have any money. I'm sick. I'm hungry. But, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to hit up all these companies. I'm going to try to make some money. And it pays off. So if you put the work in, the results will come. You hit up these companies. You hit up your artists. You take as much photos. You don't have to be the best, but you got to grow.
Do what you gotta do.
Exactly. So now that I'm at that point now for like my Instagram page, I don't post anybody who's not famous, or it's not a really creative photo, or they're like a really top model. Because you keep going up, you build, you start with cool photos, better photos, but as soon as you hit that limit, you can't go back down.
Okay.
You got to keep it consistent, grow. So someone can scroll through your feed and they're like, oh yeah, he sucked. Oh wow, he's getting better. And then you don't want to go back to like, oh, why'd he post that?
Oh, okay.
And that's what I try to teach kids who ask me. They're like, how can I be better at Instagram? And I was like, well, you just posted that amazing pic. And then you came back with, like, not as bad a pic.
Oh, okay.
But your consistency's got to be up there. And it's all about what it looks like. Your Instagram feed, it's the first 9 photos, someone judges you.
So you got 9 photos.
That's it. Because it'll show 9, and then you can scroll past more. But the first 9, and, like, your bio is what, like, a famous rapper would see. Or someone. So if they're, like, see this kid and it says, like, I play with animals as his bio or something. But you got to keep it professional. Like, this is Jayson, personal, like, email, manager's email, website. So people can, like, companies can go to your website and see all your work.
Yeah, talk more about that. How can, can people get a hold of you to do stuff? I mean, obviously not for long because you're about to be gone, but...
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Are you gonna be planning to be back in the future? You said you want to move to LA.
Yep. So as soon as I get out of the Paris deal with Ubisoft, I'm gonna start the career back in LA, but with money this time.
I was gonna ask how people could get a hold of you, but I guess when this is up, you'll be gone. So.
Social media.
Social media. Can you still work with people? Do they need to be right there? Can they send you stuff to edit, or how does that work?
Yeah. So email. I just have people email me photos that they want me to retouch or.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that.
So what's your email?
It's my first and last name, which is Jayson Hinrichsen.
You spell that for us?
Which I know. So I was actually trying to change my name, not on purpose. But I thought about it, like my Instagram name.
Okay.
Just because when people like, hey, what's your Instagram? I'm like, Jayson Hinrichsen. They're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. So if anybody has any cool names, send me. I think the best one I got was, that meme where that kid goes, Jesus, like that little kid.
Okay.
Like someone scares him. So someone put Jaysons.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was pretty funny. But like people say Jaybird or Jay Heine, but that's not professional. I need like a dope.
Jesus, that's kind of cool.
That's funny.
Yeah. That's cool.
I died. But yeah, so it's JaysonHinrichsen. But usually if you type J on Instagram, my thing will pop up first usually.
Okay, dope.
Which is nice.
Well, that's cool, man. Well, I think, is there anything else you want to talk about, get out there while we're here?
Yeah, like I said, just chase a dream. There's no age cap. There's no right way to do it. Me, I didn't go to photography school. I didn't even like photography. And then it pops off. And that's also the thing is, there's always a plan for people. So don't give up. So if you don't want to work a 9 to 5, chase your dreams while you're young. You got that window between 20 and 30 where you can do it. But 30 on, you get kids, you can't go travel or head to LA for the weekend. So while you're young is the time to make those mistakes like I've made tons of mistakes with photography and just life in general. But that's where I can make mistakes and then you learn.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
exactly.
Yeah, don't give up. That's the worst thing because I've almost given up a million times. And who knows what would have happened? I probably would have worked at like a bank or something. You know what I mean? Which I would hate.
Yeah, well, thank God you didn't, because it's just dope and it's inspiring to a bunch of people, so.
Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for coming out, and hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Yeah, man, part 2. Appreciate you having me, though.
All right, man. Thank you.
Cool, thanks.
All right, peace.